Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to term 2. It's been a crazy first term, and I hope you guys are super excited for your second term. Well, my name's Donald. I'm head of customer service here at Functional Solutions, and today I have the pleasure of taking you guys through a new user training for SmartSuite, sorry. Alright, so let's jump into it. Okay, so what we're covering today will be the main things that you need to get up and going. Things like adding patrons, understanding circulation and catalog. So we'll just jump straight into it. First thing I just want to say quickly, you'll notice that there's a chat option on your right hand side of your screen. So we're monitoring that chat, so if you have anything you want to ask during the session, by all means chuck a little comment in there, and I'll try to answer it as we're going. So first things first, this is pretty much your home page. Anytime anyone accesses your site, they will be brought here. If you do not have access to your site currently, shoot us an email to support@functionalsolutions.com.au, and we'll jump in and fix that up for you. So, the first things that you need to jump onto when you are first using the system would be your global catalog, or what we call SCIS, everyone else calls SCIS import. So let's configure that, make sure it's ready to go. Under catalog, you'll have global catalog. Okay, so everyone should have a SCIS account these days. On your configuration section, or just down here, little arrow, sorry, you want to go to Z3950 database. Okay, by default you'll have SCIS as your only database in there. Here is where you'll need to enter your username, okay, and your password for that account. Okay, if you do not have Z3950 cataloging enabled on your account, 50 cataloging. Okay, alright, so once you've entered in your details, click that update button, okay, and that'll save the changes that you've made. Okay, hit that close there. Okay, the other thing you want to do before you start global cataloging is setting up your spine label excuse me, spine label report. And the reason you want to do that is so that as you're scanning in your items, once you've completed your session, you can then go ahead and print those labels straight away for the books. Okay, so back to our configuration button, and we've got default spine label. Okay, and you'll just find the spine labels that you use. Okay, these are the spine labels that we support. Okay, there's some custom reports that we've created there. So just select the ones that you use and then hit save. Okay, and now our default spine label is selected, so as I start scanning items, I can then hit that print button and it'll take me straight to the report, and it'll populate that report with those barcodes that I've catalogued. Okay, so down below you'll see some options. This is our action bar or toolbar. Now this is there on each page, so your catalog, not circulation, but catalog, and you'll go there to save or make any changes to records, searching, stuff like that. So as I go through catalog and other features, I'll show you how that toolbar works. But just while we're here, you've got your barcode format that you can select from. Okay, specified barcode means you have a school barcode on the item ready to go. So you'll scan the ISBN, then you'll scan that specified barcode. Okay, and then that'll catalog the item. using that copy barcode that you've added on that. Your search by is always set to ISBN by default. You do have the option to select SCIS number from your multimedia files and stuff like that. Merge by, append copy. Okay, this just means it's going to add a copy if it finds that title already exists in the system. You'd have some other options there to select from as well. And upload allows you to upload mark files, .dat files, and bulk import items from there, as well as if you've got, say, a text document with a list of ISBNs, you can upload that as well. Okay, and we've just got that configuration page that I've already gone through there. Okay, so while I'm here, I may as well just quickly show you how this works. Let me just get an ISBN. Just going to log into SCIS because I know then I'll be selecting the correct ISBN number. It's always good to have the book barcodes on the books at the time of global cataloging, simply so that you don't have to go ahead and then label everything afterwards. It really does speed up your cataloging process. So I'm going to grab this ISBN, place that in there, and then because I'm prepared, I've got my school barcode. This will just be okay, and then it'll go through and import that record for me. Okay, you can see the title of the item, the ISBN I've placed it, the import type that I selected, and my barcode. Okay. Now if I was to go ahead and print that, I can click that print button down there that we set up before. Make sure I save it. I'll have to have a look into that. Okay, so that's your global cataloging. You do have the option just on the left here to set up your copy defaults. Okay, so if you're doing a whole bunch of, as you can see here, I've got my primary library with fiction set in there and all the information I want added to those items when I import them. You can go ahead and change any of this during the import session. So if we wanted non-fiction, type in there, it'll search it. Okay, and then as I import new items, they'll come through with this location, my new sublocation, and any other information that I've changed. Okay, so that's your global catalog or SCIS import. The next thing you really want to be on top of is your patrons. Okay. Under patron, you've got patron management. Now, you'll want to access your patron management if you, say, have a new admin that you need to add and give permissions to, any new teacher that's come in and you want them to have access to TV for Education, for example. You will need to come to patron management to add that patron and update their roles. As you can see, I'm logged in as lib, so whenever you do log in and you go to patron management, it will load the patron that you are logged in as. Okay. One thing I do stress is if you're going to create a new patron, always make sure that you're clicking the new button, okay, in that toolbar at the bottom. Alright, and you can see the toolbar here. It's got a few options to select from. You have find, okay, simple search for searching up any patrons. Okay, you've got your new option again to create a new patron. Saves the changes you've made, the option to change their password, as well as email them a login. Okay, and your delete option there. I'll go through now and just create a test patron so you understand how the new patron process works. There are a few fields that you will need to fill out. Excuse me. That is barcode, first name, surname, okay, your classification and homeroom. Okay, they're mandatory fields that you need to fill out. If you do not fill them out and you try to save it, it will pop up with a little error there for you. So I'll just create another test patron. Okay, barcode. Username you don't have to fill in. If you're a school running SSO or single sign-on, you will definitely put their username in there. That way we can link to your AD server and log the patron in. Okay, email. It's always good to add the email, simply because you want to be able to email out overdues and stuff like that to students. Again, you don't have to add the email, but it's always a beneficial option. My year level and my homeroom for the student as well. So let's go for a 7G. Okay. The option here, change password on next login. That allows the user to, when they go to log in for the very first time, create their own password. Now the system will generate a custom password. It's something that we've just gone ahead and done so that anytime someone needs to log in, they have the option to. So just make sure you tick that to yes, okay, and then you can hit save. You can change the password to something simple, but when you email their login and change password is enabled, it'll automatically just put through the information and ask them to create a new password. Okay. User roles, as I mentioned before, you've got your role option right at the bottom here. By default, it'll load up as a student. Now, a student just means they have the option to search. That's really it. Inside here, you'll have a few options. Main ones you'll be looking at is your librarian. Okay, gives full access to the system. If you want to only have access to things like circulation, you do have your circulation desk option here, as well as your self-circulation if you don't want them to have full access to the full circ, and then your teacher option here, which gives access to TV for education. Okay, now I'm just going to select a teacher, so remove these two options. Okay, now all I want to do is hit save. Okay, I can deselect the email option if I want. I'll just leave it ticked. It's no email anyway, so it's not going to go anywhere, but I'll hit save. Okay, now this is the main patron information that you'll see as you access the patron management page. You can go through. Alright, now to delete a user, very simple. Your delete option right down here, you click that, give you a little pop-up. Okay, so it does delete all the information. Okay, and then that's gone. Alright, so very simple to delete a patron. Now, next thing I want to show you is our catalog page. Okay, so I've shown you your global catalog where you'll go to SCIS import items. Now, if SCIS doesn't have that item cataloged, you will then need to go through to your catalog page, so catalog, and manually add that item. Okay, so I'll show you through those steps. Again, very simple. There are mandatory fields again, so when you do go to save, you might get a pop-up saying, hey, we need to make a change here. Okay, so when you access your catalog page, it'll load the very first record that's on the system. Okay, so just remember, just like